What is going on, you guys? And welcome back to your channel. For today's video, we're going old school. We got a good old-fashioned live comm. I'm going to give you guys my initial impressions of Modern Warfare 2022. The game, by the time you guys are seeing this, has been out for about a day and a half now, so not much to go on, but there have been some pretty significant changes from the beta to the live game that we all now have our hands on finally. So I'm just going to give my initial impressions, the good, the bad, a little bit of ugly, and just go through, and I think there's some things that need to be addressed, hopefully by Infinity Ward, to keep the public happy. You know, optimism is a little low when it comes to that, but I just wanted to give you guys what I think to be the biggest talking points of the game so far. There are good, but there's a little bit of bad and ugly, as I mentioned. So hopefully this is to be the first video of a new chapter on the YouTube. You guys are well aware I didn't really enjoy Vanguard too much, like, you know, most people. So I didn't really have the drive and the fire to make long form YouTube content. Hopefully there is some comparison to Cold War and MW19 for the YouTube in the near future, at least. You know, I have a revived passion for content and stuff like that, so hopefully Modern Warfare 2022 gives me a good avenue to be able to give you guys YouTube content. It's something that I've always enjoyed doing, but I need the right, you know, you gotta have the right headspace. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Like I said, good old-fashioned live comm style. We're just gonna go through the main talking points of the game so far. So appreciate you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, and let's get started. Alrighty, guys, I do want to preface something before we get into the video. You know, this one's going to be inherently negative. There's some things that we got to talk about, things we got to address, elephant in the room. I will say I'm having a lot of fun. Now, I don't know if it's because it's a new COD and we just got, you know, the COD cycle has commenced and it's early and we're excited about new things, or what. There are a lot of things I'm going to talk about in this video. It is going to be inherently negative, but I am enjoying the game. Just going to put it out there. That's all I'm going to say. Alrighty, guys, now there are a couple of things that jump out just screaming at you immediately about the game, which I'm sure for those competitive viewers that I have, you know, I'm aware, you know, I got a couple casuals on the YouTube. It's okay. But there are some pretty glaring issues when it comes to the competitive side of things in this game, specifically for like kickoff tournaments and stuff like that. And number one, it's the most complained about thing I've ever seen, and that is red dots on the mini-map. I'm gonna be honest, guys, they took it out of custom games, which in, you know, pub lobbies and stuff, obviously it's not here anymore. There's no red dots in pub lobbies. But for whatever reason, Infinity Ward decided to take red dots out of custom games. So when we're playing, you know, kickoff tournaments, S&D tournaments and stuff like that, even potentially early scrims of the game, there's no red dots on the minimap. We just have to, it feels like you're playing hardcore. And, you know, in the past, they would take it out of pub games and you would just be able to play with it in private match and there would be no problem. But that is not the reality of the hand that we are dealt this year, unfortunately. So I'm not sure if that's a bug. I'm not sure if it's intended. There hasn't really been a mention of anything by Infinity Ward on the topic, so we don't really have much to go off of on that front. So we kind of just have to assume that it's intended, potentially. If it was a bug, I feel like that's something they would, you know, address, but we'll have to see. If there's no red dots in custom games, then that is going to be one of the biggest competitive changes that Call of Duty's ever seen to date. So we're just gonna have to wait and find out. Also using the AK, because I know you guys are going to be curious. I'm definitely going for the Orion camo grind. And if you guys aren't camo people, or if you've never been a camo person, I think this is definitely the game to start. The camo grind in this game is super easy. Random side tangent, but the camo grind in this game is super easy. It's like 5 camos per gun. The camos themselves are very easy to do. It's like double kills and ADS kills and stuff like that. It's nothing insane whatsoever. So if you guys are new to a camo grind, have never done a camo grind before, I think this is the game to definitely start. Number two, which was slightly addressed by Infinity Ward, and that is the footstep volume in this game. My lord, if you guys don't have a headset, you know, shout out to JBL. If you guys don't have a headset, or if you're on the fence, I could not recommend getting one more for this game. When I tell you guys that the footstep volume of this game, which was addressed by Infinity Ward, and they say that was going to be changed going into the live game, is still insane. Footstep volume is one of the loudest that it's ever been, and having, you know, dead silence is a field upgrade because that's just the flavor of the month when it comes to Call of Duty games for some reason. It doesn't really help. So when we're playing S&D tournaments and, you know, we're running around the map, you can hear through everything. So when you don't have dead silence and you're trying to make a play, it's damn near impossible. Again, all of these things could potentially be subject to change. I don't know if they're still thinking about the footstep volume moving forward. I don't know if they're thinking about, you know, dead silence and the recharge rate and all that kind of stuff. But as of right now, dead silence or footstep volume, excuse me, and red dots on the minimap are definitely 1 and 2 in terms of the issues thus far. Another thing, which I think, moving on to the next one, I think it's another thing that hits me a little bit personally is you guys are well aware, you know, they took the slide cancel out of the beta. You couldn't slide, I mean, you could slide cancel in the beta, but you had to do some Mortal Kombat button cheat codes in order to actually do it successfully. So they took slide canceling out. Everyone, you know, came to grips with it. We were all very sad. Not really. We were all very sad. They took bunny hopping out of the game. Not out of the game, but as you guys here, let me give a little demo really quick. So normally you would just be able to do this, but see when you jump and you stop right where you should. So traditionally in the past, when you would jump and you would jump again, you would go, you know, at least a little bit further. But when you jump now, you just stop in place like this. And you can't really bunny hop. You can still jump around corners and, you know, camera people that way, but you can't, you know, send yourself around a corner as well as you could in the past. And that was something that Infinity Ward did not touch on. They really didn't mention anything about it other than movement tweaks is, I think, the wording that they used. And I think that they kind of just grouped all abusive movement in with slide canceling, which is a little sad for me because bunny hopping is near and dear to my heart. It's my favorite form of movement, quote unquote, ever. It's something that I've always enjoyed, specifically in Modern Warfare 2019 in the beta of this game. I think that Infinity Ward has definitely had the best bunny hopping movement, if you guys get my drift, of any dev. So I'm a little sad to see it go. Like I said, it's something that I've never really been a huge slide canceler. I did it because you kind of had to. You live and die by it in the last couple of years, but can't see a goddamn thing. I'm sad to see bunny hopping go, at least for now. I don't think it's going to make a comeback. Again, these are all things that Infinity Ward really hasn't addressed a lot. They have, like, again, slightly on some things. You know, we all came to grips kind of with the slide canceling removal and all that stuff. We got some good time on the beta to get used to it, and you could still do it, but they completely took the abusive slide canceling method out of the game. You can't slide cancel in any capacity anymore. Again, you can't bunny hop either, so the game is very old school. It's very Black Ops 2. The sprint out times in Black Ops 2 are obviously a little bit higher, and you could do things in that game that you can't really do in this game. But I can tell you guys right now, the competitive landscape for movement and positioning is going to be much different than what you guys are typically used to when you're watching competitive Call of Duty or just Call of Duty in general. Now, I think probably the biggest thing on the list, like, granted, you know, all the 3 points that I've made so far are relatively big, but I think just the biggest thing in COD period, regardless of the situation of the game, is the damn maps, guys. The maps might be, and I don't want, you know, maybe zoom in on me for this. The maps might be the worst ever. I would rather play Bocage than that Santa border map, whatever it is. I'm not exaggerating. Like, guys, I think these might be the worst release maps that we've ever had. And, you know, typically when you have a beta, you usually get competitive maps in the beta for the most part. You play maps that seem very fun, which is, I think, is the reason that I enjoyed the beta so much, is I could play, you know, 27 hours of Mercado and Greenberg Hotel and a museum and, like, maps that seemed fundamentally okay, you know. I think Infinity Ward catfished us, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, Infinity Ward gave us the good shit to start the beta, and then they just put us in the absolute mix with some of these maps, specifically the border map. I don't know if that was a meme. I don't know if it was, like, if that was peer reviewed or if someone just went rogue and threw it in the game. Like, I don't know. But in my opinion, these might be some of the worst release maps of any Call of Duty to date. I don't know if you guys share that sentiment or not, but there are quite a few maps that when I load into them in this game, I just immediately want to back out. So let me know what you guys think. I'm very curious. You know, all these are pretty big talking points, don't get me wrong, but I'm curious what you guys think of the maps. Like, are there maps in this game where you just refuse to play like me? Because, again, there's like 3 or 4 that I really just refuse. Like I think it's the hydroelectric map, the dam one with, like, the entire underwater Atlantis, like, ecosystem. You guys know what I'm talking about? That map is something else as well. Like, there's just quite a few in this game that are just head scratchers for me. I don't know. Which is tough because, you know, being competitive Call of Duty players, you kind of got to take what's given to you. So we got to make the best of a pretty rough situation here on the competitive side of things. So let me know what you guys think. If you're happy, sad, just the general idea of the game so far, all the changes, you know, bunny hopping, slide canceling, all of that. Again, also side tangent a little bit. If you guys have never done the camo grind, or if you're just don't really care that much, this is probably the best game to start, because the mastery camos in this game, I will say, Infinity Ward, you know, the games I've been harping on you a little bit. They did phenomenal with the camos. The mastery camos are awesome. So, you know, in the midst of crap, they got those right. And, you know, even again, this has been a little bit of a negative video, I'll admit. I will say the game is fun. I think that is the biggest takeaway. Again, I've been harping on a lot of the issues with the game so far, but the game is fun. It is as crazy as it is to say, because usually when you make a video like this, it's inherently negative, and, you know, things that I think need to be addressed, at least. It's the game is fun. I'm having a good time. So I think that's good. Maybe I'm coping. Maybe I'm full-blown coping, but I'm having fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Rest in peace to the bunny hop. Let me know what you guys think about the movement, you know, the maps. Like I said, if you guys haven't played any S&D tourneys, the red dots on the mini map it feels like you're playing like a campaign mission almost. But regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day.